It's funny when you look at the Star Trek Picard artwork, the poster for it on Amazon. You think the dog's going to be a little bit more prominently featured in the show?
Seeing that it's only Picard and the goddamn dog.
Yeah, on the vineyard, and you're like, oh,
whoa,
there's going to be some vineyard. There's going to be some adventures going on
in the vineyard, like all the time, right?
The dog's going to be integral to the story.
It's like, well, it's going to have a fun name. His name's gonna be number one. So, it's gonna be on the ship then. Like, I don't know.
You never see him again after.
Yeah, after episode like 2, it's like gone. But they're still using the set because for some reason, that little ship has a holodeck.
Yeah, a pretty good holodeck too, huh?
Right, a really good one. They bought that, or they rented that vineyard, and they're damn sure gonna use it throughout the whole thing.
Yeah. Was that in episode 1 and 2?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now it's in episode 3 as part of the holodeck, so they can have little meetings there.
Oh yeah, they're having a meeting there in episode 3, was it?
Yeah, and what we found out was those mountains where those weird slanty mountains.
Mm-hmm.
That's where Picard fought the Gorn, and it's where Raffi's living now, and it's all this. It's like 30 minutes north of where the studio is.
Yeah, so I was wondering if that was actually the planet that Kirk was on when he fought the Gorn.
For a second, it's like, wow, that looks
or is it
geographically...
kind of like a breaking the fourth wall kind of like tribute to the next?
Did they actually
original series?
say where she was living?
It's somewhere on Earth. We know that. So
you know what they probably did is they colonized the Gorns.
They colonized the Gorn. Like, well, yeah, they did global cooling since they're cold-blooded reptiles.
Yeah.
They all went dormant, and they just moved them to another planet.
Yeah, so
it's a very nice planet.
And all thanks to Captain Kirk, he discovered the planet.
All right, okay, let's get the things out of the way. Welcome to the Transmit Podcast. We're talking about next 2 episodes of Star Trek Picard. I'm your host, Spike.
I'm Samantha.
I'm Victor.
And listen, this show is actually really the cool thing about this show is thanks to Prestige Television, it's so weird that there's a series of Star Trek that's just good from episode 1. Like most Star Treks, you'll find is like Next Gen, Voyager, or even Deep Space Nine. The first season, always kind of weak. At the very least, weak or bad. But this is like, from episode 1, you're like, hey, this is really good. So
yeah, that's what I was thinking when I saw it, because it showed a lot of Earth, which you don't really see in a lot of Star Trek.
Oh, yeah. Or you see like the one area that they have a matte painting for.
Yeah. And then you see like the set.
Yeah, the set. And
So the establishing shot matte painting and then the set.
It's really really low budget. And that's what I like about this higher budget is you can really like have a set. And we were talking about that the clothes like all look good.
Yeah, it looks like they're wearing stylish clothes. Like on Next Gen, they did the best they could.
Yeah, with just
what they had. It looks like maybe they got some drapes and then made outfits out of them.
Yeah, we got some tunics, really loose fittings. Even the cool people, like there's one guy who's like in trouble with the government, and he had like a jacket, but it was still like a really bad. It was like he was wearing his dad's jacket, and he was playing at being cool.
Yeah.
So
and everyone had like turtlenecks and jackets over their turtlenecks for some reason.
Yeah.
I guess it's really cool on the Enterprise. They have really good air conditioning.
So, that's Picard's visiting Raffi, who is apparently living in a shack out. It's like a mobile home out in the desert, the Vasquez Rocks, which we looked up. And what I love is, like, in the future, there's supposed to be no money. In, like, Next Gen and even Deep Space Nine.
Yeah.
But for some reason, Picard has a vineyard, and she's making a point of it, like, oh, you got those heirloom furniture and oak beams and a chateau, and I've got a shack. And I'm like, wait, is that... You chose that then because there's no money. There's no money in the future. You're post scarcity.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what series of decisions did you make that
in
made
a post scarcity world
to live? Yeah, in a you're just a terrible person. That gun she came out with in episode 2. That's how she greeted people in her apartment in the nice part of town, and they said, no, you've got to move out to the country, go to the desert.
She's banished.
Yeah, she's vaping snake leaf. To get high. They say it gives her paranoia, so it's like future weed, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, that was interesting. I saw that. I don't remember them. I don't remember that part.
Yeah, she's missing it. She breaks off a bit, throws it in her future vape, and takes a nice old hit off that.
I think that's what's really cool about Star Trek Picard. It kind of like builds the world of the Star Trek universe that you don't really see a lot
Right?
when you're watching like the shows, because they're just in space. Yeah, and I guess they're going across the universe, but it doesn't. It's not like world building.
No, it's not.
In a sense.
You're building like the it's a lot of them are ship and bottle episodes, especially with Next Gen,
Yeah.
which is I guess what we're going to be comparing this to a lot because got the character from that, and like Deep Space Nine had like a continuous story, and there were like bottle episodes, but that one was more a continuous story. But most of Next Gen was just like, okay, today we're at this planet, and there are these people, and here we go.
Alien of the Week. Yeah.
Yeah. And so this one's going to have more of a story arc. So I really like that a lot more.
Yeah, because I feel if you like keep pumping out new alien civilizations and new planets, it makes the one before that just less and less important.
Yeah, like the Romulans become less important once you realize, oh, there's another planet that we have to like with just one little feature on them. Like, oh, these are like aliens, but you can tell they're aliens because their earlobes droop kind of long. And like even the Bajorans is like they're people, they just have little ridges on their nose.
Yeah, the ridge people.
At a certain point, you're just like, they're aliens, and how can we tell? One notch on their forehead. There you go. Aliens.
Yeah, so it starts to lose its
It's oomph.
So
That's why
they never really took the opportunity or the time to build up each one of these alien.
That's why the big ones from like from OST, they're still around. It's because you had like the Klingons, the Romulans, the Vulcans, and they're very distinct, very like thought out ones. And once you get to Next Gen, that lasts like 12 seasons, and you're still throwing new aliens at us.
Next Gen was only 7 seasons.
Okay,
but
wow, you know that more than I do. Shit.
yeah, but they
Nice. But they did throw a lot of aliens our way.
yeah, and they just like the original series threw a bunch of like crazy ass shit, aliens and like weird planets, like Nazi planet and like
There's just a Nazi planet.
Lord of the Flies planet.
And they never went back to like Nazi planet or the Mafia planet. Like
There was a Mafia planet.
yeah, and I'd
which
like to
is
see
great.
that Next Gen where it's like, oh yeah, remember that Nazi planet we went to? Yeah, well here it is.
I know. Or the ancient Greece planet.
Yeah,
you know?
all those just kind of we're not. It's like they're probably not going to mention the episode of Next Gen where they went to Space Ireland and there was a ghost and Beverly Crusher wanted to.
See, I liked Space Ireland because that was actually
It was a human
colony. Yeah,
and they brought like our culture out there, and it's like, okay, I can relate to this.
yeah,
But
only Irish culture.
Only
So it
Irish-
was a very specific human colony.
very, very segregated.
But maybe there was another part of the planet that was like, I don't know, people wanted to live in like Japan or something.
I guess,
like
yeah.
that.
There's a Japan colony out there.
Japan
They just went. They
colony.
went to Pluto. There you go. Perfectly good.
Pluto.
I don't know. Okay, so let's cover the twin a little bit. She's making moves at her work, de-droning people.
Soji.
Soji, yeah, she's de-droned. She's talking to de-droned Romulans in their native tongue, and that gets her a promotion. And for a place that has dermal regenerators, her boss has like a lot of shit, like a lot of lines and scars in his face.
Yeah, shit on his face.
So you think like you were saying that he wasn't Picard wasn't Borg for very long,
Yeah, or I don't think he was even fully
Borgatized.
Yeah, Borgified.
So yeah,
Assimilated.
so he still has, but as you saw,
Because they wanted him to be like the human Borg,
yeah,
kind of like
so they can use his
in-between.
knowledge. Yeah,
They wanted him to like, instead of going to Earth and then like violently assimilated, they wanted Picard to explain
You
the
will-
benefits
the
of being
benefits. He's a
assimilated.
diplomat, so he's saying, "You will be one of us." Like, well, you talked me into it.
Yeah.
Well, and that shows that he still has some intuition about the Borg because he was like in First Contact, he was like, "Shoot the Borg cube here." It's like, really? That doesn't seem. And then they do it, and it's like, oh, it won. Okay.
Yeah.
So he still has some intuition. I'm betting that whatever that mass in his brain is, I'm betting that's going to be Borg stuff. So let me see.
Possibly.
She interviews a crazy Romulan. Like, all the de-Borged Romulans are kind of nuts.
Ramda.
Ramda, yeah, and she pulls a gun on him and calls her the destroyer. So they really hate even the idea of a synth in Romulan culture.
And you'd think more of them were assimilated for them to hate synths and stuff and synthetic life. you'd think a lot more Romulans would have been assimilated by the Borg, but there's only like a small room full of the only.
No, those are the ones that survived.
Oh, so not all of
That
them make it through.
survived the
Oh, okay.
Borg removal.
We meet the new captain, or the guy who runs the ship, Rios. I like it because when you meet a new employee, what you want is someone who's injured and shirtless, and smoking.
Yeah.
And so he's
Still
like,
got the job though.
listen, like
With a big piece of shrapnel sticking out of
when
out
I
of
worked
a shoulder.
when I worked at Albertsons back when I was a kid, like I pulled a knife out and killed an earwig in the office. Still got the job. Seriously, it was
Same day of your interview?
no. At the interview. They must have been hard up. Yeah, that look there. Yeah, I was surprised later on in life. I guess he liked my moxie.
That's very concerning.
Hey, listen, it was Albertsons in Spring Valley.
Kid, you had to make a choice about that earwig. You could have just let it walk free, smash it with your fist, or
pull out a knife,
pull out a knife.
Open that bitch. It was a buck
Unnecessarily.
110. Chop that bitch, and that secured me my job. So
How
look,
old were you when you?
God, I think I was like 18 at the time. I should have known better.
They should have known better. Jesus.
And now technically I work for them again because the grocery store I work for now is part of that chain. So
Did they have like a nickname for you, like "Hey Knifey" or
and
"Hey Wig Killer" or something?
nope, he never brought it up. You think that'd be something that follows you around, but nope.
I know.
You pulled out a knife in your job interview, or you had a piece of shrapnel in your captain interview, and you were bad mouthing him and getting medical procedure. Like, and all that is to show that the captain is tough. It's like I survived.
Yeah.
It has no real purpose, and you're never going to hear why he has tritanium in him.
And his story arc is that he can't possibly
Can't love another captain.
love another captain.
He lost his last captain, his last hero captain. This one, no, I can't open myself up to that kind of hurt. I'm never gonna dance again. This guilty captain's got no rhythm, though it's easy to
Please
pretend.
stop.
Sorry. I know you're not a captain. Sorry.
So yeah, they're gonna
Oh yeah, I was
totally
talking.
gonna bang.
And she was. Oh yeah, Romulan houses apparently have fake front doors. I found that out like from that little interview she did. Like
Romulan house.
Like they're so leaning into the Romulans are mysterious and secretive that Romulan houses have fake front doors to fool intruders.
Okay.
Okay, sorry.
Well, wouldn't all Romulans know that?
Right?
So it's only to fool.
It's only tradition now.
Aliens.
It's only tradition now, I guess. I have no fucking clue. I like that. Like he's still like Captain Picard sees right through Rios and is like, "No, you're Starfleet to the core." It's like, "Don't get in my head." It's like it's just exposition.
Not a single bolt is loose.
All the facets are in place. I know this because I walked from the teleporter to this chair.
And you're definitely Starfleet.
Except for the part where you're tattooed, shirtless, probably a little drunk. And your EMH and your tactical hologram are versions of you for some reason. And
That's weird. And one of them's like a drunk version.
one of them's drunk and
It's like
speaks Spanish.
why did you want to save the drunk version of
It's
yourself?
like,
Why did you want to preserve that?
Yeah, for the tactics. And it's not like he's your communications guy or anything. It's like, no, this is the guy who needs to shoot.
He needs to be like on it. Like
Yes.
he needs to have reflexes.
Yes. Phasers just to wake up. What?
Wake up. And he's got like a very stereotypical Mexican accent.
Yeah, the most.
He's actually Chilean.
Oh, these guys are very stereotypical
FYI.
Chilean.
Emmett has the Mexican accent.
Okay.
He's doing a very typical.
Madre de Dios.
Yeah, Rios is Chilean of some kind or whatever.
Right. I like they were having like they went back to you see like their last night on like Chateau Picard in IRL and not hologram. And like the Romulan hit squad shows up and they're really bad at their job. Like like 3 unarmed people managed to like kick their asses. Like Picard is like in his 80s and he disarms one and shoots them.
Actually, in the show, he's in his 90s.
He's in his 90s.
94?
It's like he's in excellent health, but he's still like, these are Romulans. They're like 10 times stronger than a human, and they're getting their asses kicked all the time.
Yeah.
Well, the scientist lady comes over and just finds one of their guns, shoots him in the back. It's like, I thought it was set for stun. It's like, yeah, our disruptors, they don't stun. And then she gets some wine as a reward. You think you get her like water or something. He's like, no, liquor yourself up. There's gonna be more killing on the way. Don't you worry, honey. Oh my god. Let's see. Oh, and that mother character that they're both calling. So she's like some sort of computer program, right?
Probably.
Yeah, because she's like.
She's probably an AI.
Who?
Yeah.
Soji and Dodge's mom that they call.
Oh yeah.
And every time they talk to her, they go to sleep.
They talk, or they like. She knows like way too much. It's like, oh yeah, did you find Picard yet? What? Oh yeah, go find Picard. Oh, okay. It's like, hey, listen, something's happening right now. Tubal Cain. It's just like some code word. Just, oh god, wouldn't you love that if like like if you had a kid or like maybe I don't know like a significant other who was annoying you, you could just say a word and they just pass out.
Yeah, I was watching.
God, yes.
I was watching that scene and I was thinking that the mom was just so boring that
Right.
she was just going to sleep.
It's like, let me tell you about Claire.
She's
That
like,
now, I was at the flower shop and I wanted tulips, but all they had were chrysanthemums. And it's great.
oh, okay. I guess there's some kind of control aspect.
Oh, and surprise, surprise! After Raffi's all like, "No, I hate you," and then she joins the crew at the very end. It's like she's just there, but she's only going to Free Cloud. She's definitely
Raffi's only going to Free Cloud.
She's only going to Free Cloud, and she's never going to be in any more Star Trek once they reach Free Cloud. She's going to retire, start up her own business, and get married. I did like how like Picard like he tendered his resignation, and that got somebody else fired for some reason, just so they could have this tragic back. It'd be better if they both quit at the same time.
Yeah, I know, huh?
And she just blamed him because, look, I followed your lead because I'm loyal to you, and then you never called me again, which was a real dick move on his part.
Yeah,
Like,
no.
I like how he was like, he's very imperfect in this. Like, he neglected a bunch of people.
Yeah.
They made him imperfect.
And that was good because he was like a big paragon, and maybe that's like kind of his weakness in this is he was too much of a paragon. So that when something went wrong, he went south real fast.
I feel like Picard in Next Gen was a little bit more aggressive too.
He was.
A little bit more on it. There's no bullshitting Picard.
Yeah.
Like he's very direct.
He knows what he needs to do in his job. He is very good. He's well read. He knows his tactics. He knows his engineering. He knows his captaining.
Yeah, he doesn't fluff, and he's very direct, and it comes off a little strong.
Yeah.
But in this show, he's very he's a lot more laid back, more soft.
Yep.
He's like not as rough anymore.
Well, because since they have all these other characters who are very competent,
Yeah.
that they need to establish as well, they're allowed to. One of them's allowed to be more tactical. One of them's allowed to be more like study oriented and stuff like that.
Yeah, and Picard kind of seems kind of like the the funny old man, the vacationing old man.
This is like just his vacation. This is like his vacation adventure. Like this is going to be a hologram adventure, isn't it? A holodeck adventure where he just like said, "Hey, listen, I want to go on another hoorah, but I also I don't want to like work as much. So look, here's the deal. I want package C, where I just like tell people what needs to happen.
And then they just help me out because they think I'm so awesome.
So awesome." Because I was awesome, right? I've written some books.
Apparently, Picard wrote books, huh?
He's the type. So that brings us into episode 2, and they talk about that Romulan relocation world. They show it there. And I like, and again, back to the clothes thing, like, everyone looks like they're dressed in what you'd wear, like, at any point in the future. And except for Picard, he looks like he's vacationing in Cuba in, like, the 70s. He's got a white fedora, the whole white suit thing going on.
Oh, that was when they were showing him
In the flashback,
visiting,
yeah.
like 15 years ago. Or
Yeah, with the kid he has there, that's going to be like a samurai
Yeah.
kung fu guy.
Milat.
Quat Milat.
Teaches them about the
Use less sexual language, please.
the three. He teaches them about the Three Musketeers.
Yeah.
I don't know if that ever comes into play. It definitely doesn't when he chops the guy's head off, right?
Yeah, I don't think... Well, they use rapiers in the Three Musketeers, which isn't a really good decapitating weapon. But everyone does... At first I was thinking, like, everyone has swords here. What's going on? Like European-style straight-edge. So it did Alexander Dumas, did his, like, works really take off here or something?
Yeah, I don't know why there's so many swords on that part of Romulus.
To the point where when he's trying to leave, like the senator guy is like, "Here, sword fight me." Like, what?
I think they wanted to add a little bit of the Star Wars flair to it. I think,
And maybe a little bit of the old Star Trek too, with like Sulu like coming out with a sword, like
yeah.
But there's also more of like an honor thing.
That's true. I never
as
got
opposed to shooting.
That's true, but I never got that from the Romulans. Like, no. Well, these are the people who have fake front doors and super clandestine meetings. So I think maybe they're trying to infuse a little bit of that in there, but I don't know if it really matches up with the Romulans. Oh,
Well,
man.
I think it's cool that they're trying to flesh out and build out that culture, that alien race.
That's true, because even
it's a lot more than they've done for other alien races in Star Trek.
They really went into like the Klingons in Next Gen and stuff, and like
in the movies too.
In the movies, yeah. Well, I was gonna say like in Star Trek, I think it was Nemesis. There was more Romulan stuff, but even then, you only got like the Senate and then a little bit about like their slave race that was in the war with the Dominion.
Oh, I never.
So, oh yeah, like
I don't remember them having a slave race.
oh yeah, they totes did, and a clone of Picard.
Played by Tom Hardy.
Played by Tom fucking Hardy.
Tom Hardy was Picard clone.
Yeah, and then they sent him.
Yeah.
Then they sent him back in time to be Bane in the Christopher Nolan Batman
sweet.
movies. Yeah, so it was really
Part of the same universe.
Oh yeah, same universe. Little known fact.
DC and Star Trek is the same universe.
Same universe. Look it up. Look it up. Let me see here. Oh yeah, I like how Picard goes like from the one scene when you see him at that relocation place to the next. He goes from like everyone's like, "Hey you, hey Picard, we love you," and to the next one is like everyone's looking at him like, "What are you doing in my neighborhood, bitch?"
You know, like it's almost like the Gran Torino.
Yeah,
He's like Clint Eastwood, and it's like the neighborhood is
it's really gone downhill.
gone downhill.
Oh yeah, they have like Romulan only bars on the Romulan only planet, basically. Like what?
Yeah.
That's like that's like I don't know.
Well, they're like they don't have like an actual homeworld anymore, right?
They don't, but that's
So
their
they have-
relocation colony.
Colony. Did they have another planet?
I don't think so.
Is that just the only planet they have?
That's just the one. That's the planet they got, and it's got a nice like phaser dome, and yeah. No, nobody only lives. Let's see. Oh yeah, everyone on that planet. It looked like it's kind of arid there, but everyone's wearing black clothes now. They go from like even the nuns. Like I'm sitting there like, don't you have like white robes or anything? Can't you just come on, like dress for the weather.
Yeah, it makes you hot and uncomfortable, doesn't it?
You're
Seeing them in that arid climate wearing like leather jackets and
Yeah.
stuff, and leather boots.
It's like, no, I'm going to look good here in the future. Shut up. Let's see. Oh, I really like that one line where Picard was like, "I allowed perfect to become the enemy of good."
When did he say that?
He was talking about like how he, I think it was like when he was talking to the nun the second time during his second visit, he was talking about how he's like that's like he quit Starfleet, and instead of like working with what he had, he just like fucked off to his vineyard.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that's kind of relevant to a lot of like life, where you say like, no, this isn't good enough. It has to be perfect. But what you have to work for is good.
Mm-hmm.
And I really like that philosophy of like, my ideals were too high, maybe.
Yeah.
Because that was always his thing. Like the Next Gen was always like Starfleet represented the highest of ideals,
Mm-hmm.
but maybe that we were seeing it through the prism of Picard,
Yeah, when actual Starfleet is a little bit more like
a little
whatever.
a little more realistic. Because like remember in the last episode they were saying like, look, 13 like species we're gonna pull out of Starfleet or of the Federation.
Mm-hmm.
So we had to make a choice: either save the Romulans or keep a whole bunch of worlds in the fold. So.
And that's why they did the ban or whatever.
Yeah, the ban for the synths.
Yeah,
I think that was just like a knee-jerk reaction to the synth uprising.
the attack on Mars.
Yeah. So, but I'm betting obviously the Romulans and the synth thing are connected somehow, and we're gonna see that later. Let's see that kid. He meets up with the kid again, but now he's a man.
Mm-hmm.
14 years has gone by, and now he's like a kung fu sword monk.
Yeah,
There's
there's not a lot of characters like that in Star Trek, are there?
No, there really aren't.
That use swords and.
I mean, the Klingons have swords, but they're bat'leths and they're curved and they're like it's not quite the same thing. But
Yeah, I guess that's as close as you can get to mysticism and stuff on Star Trek.
Right.
Yeah, because Star Trek is more of like kind of like science-based, kind of. They don't have like a force or anything in
Nope.
in that universe.
They just got science. They got cold hard science, and then beings that are so evolved that they kind of look like gods. And that's why I was hoping like when Rafi was saying like, do we have any last resorts? Instead of saying like, oh, I tendered my resignation, that was my last resort. I was hoping he'd yell, Q, hey Q,
I need your help.
like you always show up once a season. Come on,
Q, where are you?
oh.
That's so far. That's the one character that I've been like, is that cute?
Cute.
Like especially when if you scroll through some of the thumbnails for the show,
Yeah.
but it's not.
God,
He's not in it, and I'm
always-
disappointed.
I always wanted to listen. I don't need him to be like the main driving force.
No, you just need him to show
I
up
just want him to show
for a little bit,
Cause a
to
little trouble.
fuck some shit up, piss some people off, and then leave.
Yeah, it's like have a little fun with it, and then go. Like, cause he was already like the big like thing in like the first episode and the last episode of Next Gen.
Q was in the last episode of Next
Oh yeah,
Gen?
he was the one like the trial never ends.
I don't remember the last episode.
I do. They had to encapsulate some sort of a spatial anomaly in a static warp shell, and like they had like 3 like different time frames of the future. So I'm not sure. Like, see, that would be cool to see. Is like, hey, when does because they show Picard working on a vineyard in that series. Like he's an old man working on a vineyard. Like if he like paid some lip service to that. Hey, remember when we got the Enterprise with the 3 nacelles to do that thing? Like, yeah, I do. Oh yeah, that was cool, right? Yeah. So was that thing you talked about with the 3 different Enterprise? Yeah. Oh, cool. So let me see.
They could reference that again. Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be nice. Pay a little lip service to that. Is Wesley Crusher still a divine being? Who knows? I did like seeing like they found like an OST Romulan warbird, and it looks a little like toned up for or a little futured up, but it still looks like the whole shape is like OST warbird with the 2 front facing disruptors. And that was a really that was kind of a treat for me. I really like that.
I don't remember the OST.
It looked like that except gray, as opposed to like dark, like matte, almost matte black.
There was Romulans in the original series?
Yeah.
Huh.
Oh yeah. Don't doubt it.
They were like the original bad guys.
Oh yeah, they were.
The first ones.
Klingons came later.
I thought the Klingons were the first ones. Those were the first ones I
They
saw.
were big baddies, but they came a little later.
Really?
Yeah, I really did like they had that little fight scene with the drunk pilot or the drunk targeting system, and then this little mystery ship shows up and starts firing too, and that was a pretty good spaceship battle. I really enjoyed that. And
the mystery ship turned out to be
7 of 9's little
7 of 9.
thing. She's tooling around space, having a good time.
Yeah, and she's still hot.
She's still hot, but she's not wearing a skin tight onesie.
What's her name? Jerry Ryan?
Jerry Ryan.
She has
She's
aged
well.
like a fine fucking wine.
I want to drink that wine. Oh,
Yeah.
I want to put that wine and just dump it over my body.
Okay, so I'm going to test you.
Okay.
What do you consider to be the most deadly race in the galaxy in Star Trek?
Well, I mean, I would say the Borg, because they like over in the Delta Quadrant, they've taken over a huge portion of space.
Okay. Let me include powerful.
Well,
in
I mean,
that.
then we're talking like the Q or maybe the wormhole aliens from Deep
Which
Space
one
Nine.
of the wormhole aliens? What do they
Those
look
are
like?
from Deep Space Nine. They live in the wormhole, or they call the Celestial Gate. They experience time not as linearly. They experience all time at all times.
What do they look like?
Well, they don't look like anything. They'll look like people that you know. That's who the actors they have to play them. They act all mysterious.
So they're not on this list.
Well,
But
they're also.
You immediately said Q.
I did. Well, Q is one of them, but they're more mischievous. They did have a civil war during
But
Voyager.
how powerful and deadly.
Well, that is very powerful and very deadly. They could like their civil war was like supernovas and stuff, but there's also a race from next gen that could just drag ships to their portion of the galaxy to like study for a minute, then throw them back.
But technically, wouldn't a Q be able to stop anything that they didn't want?
That's true. I don't know, because like the wormhole aliens, that would be a different. I never got a really good like comparison.
Then there's the
The
aliens.
Pa wraiths are pretty
from-
destructive.
What are the ones?
They're on
from
this list.
Voyager. Called?
Well, let me.
Oh,
let me-
species 1-4 blah de blah.
It's 8. It's like 8472 or something.
847. Yeah.
So number 10 on this list is the Breen Confederacy, which were from Deep Space Nine.
Okay, they added to the Dominion's power. They're don't fucking.
The next one was the Vidian Sodality. Look like fucking mummies. They're the ones that amputate and graft body parts from other races.
Yeah, nice.
They're from Voyager.
That makes sense.
Number 8 is Changelings.
Oh yeah, changeling. Yeah, well, again, they're part of the Dominion, which that doesn't make them powerful and destructive in themselves.
They're tough to kill, function as a hive mind, and have unmatched shape-shifting abilities.
I mean, yeah, they're all tough to kill, but I've seen like Klingons take them out with disruptor pistols. I mean, they are powerful, no doubt.
Number 7 is the Cardassians.
Okay, I find fault with that.
Cardassians are above all those.
Above the fucking founders, fuck that noise.
Number 6 is Pa Wraiths.
The Pa Wraiths are very powerful. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Number 5. What do you think number 5 is?
I'd say the wormhole aliens next because they
No.
won out. Okay, what's next?
Romulans.
The Romulan. They are strong, but again, like the way they sell the villains in this is a little different. Okay, go ahead.
What do you think number 4 is?
Shit. Okay, would it be the Borg then somewhere in there?
No.
No.
Not
Okay.
yet.
Species 857.
No.
Nope. It can't be the Q.
No.
Okay. Klingons.
There you go.
There we go.
Um,
They are pretty destructive.
and then number 3. Who would you put at number 3?
It's got to be species 8 something because
No.
the only thing is next is so then it's the Borg.
Yes.
Okay, then it's species 8 something,
8472,
and then Q.
and then Q.
Right. Some of those lower ones are a little off, I'd say. And remember, if you put the Klingons against, they say they're more powerful than the Founders. Remember, the Founders had the Dominion, their military force, and it took the Federation, the Klingons, and the Romulans together.
The Klingons should be like number 10, huh?
Yeah, they should
And
be
then the
lower down.
Romulans.
And remember, the Klingons were fucking up the Cardassians before that, so it's or the Cardassians, sorry. I say, look, I think some of these lists are made to create strife in the fan base.
You think that someone wrote that just to piss you off?
Literally just to piss me personally off. Spike.
I think
Yes.
the last 3 are good, though.
The last 3 are good. Oh, yeah. Remember, I did like how they actually found a peaceful solution with species 8472. Like, that was the most Star Trek part of Voyager there, was when instead of having those Borg warheads, they went in and talked to them. That was very nice.
I don't remember. There's also another alien species that should be on there, too.
What's that?
There's the one from... the one from Next Gen where... The one that was abducting all the
Oh yeah,
crew?
they're just sneaking into like a Federation ship and just like, oh yeah, we got Riker and we cut his arm off and reattached it. They have like country style alien abductions, but on the Federation's flagship.
I know, it's like... Oh, those are the aliens that abduct us. I guess when we develop faster than light speed travel, we still can't find them.
We're still getting abducted. What the fuck?
We're still getting abducted.
God, when I visited my mom in Iowa for summers and such, I was very scared of alien abductions actually.
So
Because
was I.
as a city boy, I'd seen those shows where it's like, well, where do abductions happen? In the fucking countryside.
Fucking Mothman's gonna come get you.
Right? Where do I live right now? Well, I live in the middle of a sea of corn. There's a town called Thor, Iowa that's like 3 blocks square
Perfect place for alien
for
abductions.
fucking alien abductions.
So they don't want to go into dense cities and stuff. People will
Yeah,
see
I'll spot
them.
them.
Yeah.
And-
Or where there's just nothing but corn.
Oh, yeah.
As
like,
far as the eye can
that's
see.
literally where a horror movie takes place, where you look around and it's like an alien-themed horror movie. You look out the window, it's like, oh, there's corn for 1.5 miles that way, corn for 3 miles that way, corn for... and you realize, oh, wow, yeah, if they come out of the corn, we're fucked.
Like, yeah. The curvature of the Earth is such that there's corn. It
Corn.
curves.
And then it's like, it goes down. Like, oh.
So like, no one can see the alien ships
Nope. You're
where there is
there's no-
civilization
right?
around the corn, you know?
Yeah, it's like that's when kids go out play and then they see like, oh hey, why is the corn laying flat here in weird patterns? God, this is so not Star Trek. Look, we're at 35 minutes, so okay.
It's still Star Trek related.
Well, yeah, that's us from the future fucking with us. Actually, I did like that about one of the episodes of Deep Space Nine. The Quark gets screwed on a ship, and he gets sent back in time.
Quark gets sent back in time.
Yeah, to Area 51.
What?
And Odo's there. He's like trying to catch him stealing some, like he's smuggling some shit, and they have to use that whatever, I think it's trilithium or some sort of weird material, and they use that and a nuclear explosion to get back forward in time to drop off his son his cousin or his nephew to join Starfleet, the first Ferengi to ever join Starfleet. It was really good.
Yeah, I remember him having a kid. Yeah, that Ferengi kid grew up with Sisko's kid.
Yeah, and then he joined Starfleet and became like, later on in life he became like an officer and stuff. It was really cool.
That's so weird.
Okay, so that's
that kid grew up like having to put like Ferengi prosthetics on his face for like 7 years.
Right? And then in the show he had a prosthetic leg after he lost it in the war with the Dominion. Like he became a vet. Hard.
Damn.
Oh yeah. Okay, so that being said, oh wait, I gotta wait for. There's an advertisement. Oh, hey, okay, I gotta fill out this thing. Which of the following brands do you have a positive opinion of? Team Flight Tactics, Magic the Gathering, Dota Underworlds, or Hearthstones?
Hearthstones.
None of the above.
Okay, and not Magic the Gathering because they're getting rid of cards. So I'm gonna say Hearthstones. All right. There we go. So that being said, I continue to recommend Star Trek Picard. That's a great show. And
That's really good.
Oh, yeah. So that being said, thanks for listening to the Transmit Podcast. I'm your host, Spike.
I'm Victor.
I'm Samantha.
We'll see you next time.